And so I want to give you my peace, he says, not like the world. So what is the difference between the peace that God gives and the peace that the world gives? Well, first of all, I want to say that the peace of Christ is paternal, or if you prefer, maternal. It is like a father's love or a mother's love in a lot of ways, and it's like that kind of peace. It's a comforting kind of peace. When I think about that, I think about how Jesus said that my Father is greater and we're in His hands, and that's peaceful to think about. We're doing the show, The Cotton Patch Gospel, up at ACT Theater, and there is a little boy in that play who is about 5 years. In fact, if you ask him how old he is, he'll say, "I'm 4, but in August I'll be 5 because that's my birthday." And this little boy is just the cutest little fella. But we were standing around and talking, and the director of the play said, he said, talking about the audience that night. There was a really good audience, and sometimes there was just a handful, and sometimes there's a few more. And that night he was talking about the audience, and that little boy spoke up and said, "Well, my daddy was in the audience. Did you see my daddy out there?" And I just thought it was the most beautiful thing, because it didn't matter to him who else was out there. His daddy was in the audience, and that's what mattered. He loves his daddy. And the other night we were sitting around, some of us, and that little boy walks up to another fella who plays music with us and says, "Who is bigger, you or my daddy?" And that fella, which really is bigger, he looks up and says, "I guess your daddy." And in that little boy, his daddy's not that big, by the way, but in his mind, he's 10 feet tall. And I thought about that. My God is as big as the universe, and He's small enough to live in my heart. But He is one who brings calm to my fears. He is able to speak to the waves and the winds, and they obey Him. He was able to cast the demons and the sicknesses and the diseases from people. And He is one who brings comfort to me, to knowing that He is a God who brings peace because of who He is and the power that He holds. And I could just rest in that, to know that God is going to comfort me.